Okay, guys, Panzer J back here in Operation GoldenEye. We are up to turn number 5, July 1938. 5.4 and 5.5 for the UK Commonwealth and the French. So things start to heat up around the globe, especially over in China. So a little bit of back and forth, the Japanese and both the KMT and the CCP. Looks like the KMT and the CCP worked out some kind of agreement between the two of them, seeing as the Japanese were making major territorial gains in China. So looks like they have put aside their differences for the time being. And then Germany continues to be aggressive in terms of their purchases. They put down some medium armor this turn, so we know what's coming there. It is inevitable. So, in France. So as far as the UK goes, trying to prepare for the war they know is coming. So let's start with our tech, which right now the UK basically is ahead of the Italians, and that's it in terms of tech. They're behind everybody else in the game. And considering Italy has 1 tech roll, the UK's 3 per turn, that's not saying a whole hell of a lot. So we got to get some good luck going here with the UK and its tech rolls. So we are going to go for, let's see, wartime economy, which is at stage 1, radar, which is at stage 1, and long-range aircraft, which is at stage 1. So let's go ahead with long-range aircraft first, 7 or higher. We got a 9, so we succeeded there. Radar, 7 or higher. And we got a 12, so we succeeded there. And wartime economy, 7 or higher. Yeah, there we go, an 8. So we were 3 for 3. So, okay, that makes up for my last couple turns. I'll take that. I think it was 1 for 3 the last couple. So long-range aircraft, up to stage 2. Radar, stage 2. Wartime economy, stage 2. So now that looks a whole lot better, having 4 techs at stage 2 for the UK. On to purchases. The UK has 16, and they're going to spend 15 of it, so we're going to save $1. They're going to finish off a light carrier and a light cruiser for 4 apiece. That's 8. A cavalry for 3. That's 11. A militia upgrade to an infantry 2. That's 13. And then they're buying a militia for 2. That's 15. But the upgrade is going in a territory that already has a militia down, so that's why I haven't broke out a militia sculpt. I'll just put him down, and then keep the militia that's there in that territory. So that's the 15 of 16. Then the Far East Command has 7. They're going to spend all 7 of it. An infantry for 3 and 2 militia for 2 apiece for 4. That's their 7. And Anzac has 5, and they're just going to save their $5. So on to non-combat, and I don't think I have a lot of non-combat for the UK, actually. Nothing over by London or that fleet there. So over here in Africa, we're going to move this infantry from Transjordan over 1 to Eastern Egypt. And then all of these ships here in C-Zone 82 are going to come down 1 to 83. So I'm going to go ahead and put all of these on the fleet marker here. I'll have to go ahead and make room on that. So they are all down in 83. So they move down 1 from 82 to 83. And that's this entire combined Allied fleet there. And I think that's actually it for non-combat for the British. Just let me double check real quick. Yeah, that's it for the UK. On to the Far East Command. So we are going to take this naval transport here in 122, and we are at a naval major base there in British Malaya. It's going to come 1, 2 to 85, pick up this infantry in southern India, and then go the last movement to 83 and drop him off in British Somaliland. And then this naval transport is now part of that fleet as well. And I believe that is it for non-combat for the Far East Command. Anzac, no non-combat movement. Okay, so now on to unit placements. So the cavalry is being placed down here in South Africa Union, in our minor complex down there. And then the militia/militia upgrade are both here in British Somaliland. So they already had a militia down, so just keep the militia and then just add the infantry there as the upgrade. Let's see. And then lastly, the two ships, which were a light carrier and a light cruiser. They're both being placed down here in Sea Zone 25, along with that fleet. So I'll put them over here on this fleet marker. And that is it for the UK unit placements. On to the FEC. So we bought a militia and an infantry, and they are being both placed in Calcutta. Okay, and then the other militia is going to go down in British Malaya. And that is it for the FEC. Oh, there was one other non-combat move. I'm sorry. There's one other non-combat move I forgot, and that was the FEC. So over here in Sea Zone 83, there is an FEC light carrier with a fighter, and that fighter is going to go ahead and fly off the carrier and go land in British Malaya. Okay, so that was the... forgot that one last non-combat move. And that should be it. Anzac didn't have any units to place, so they're good to go. So that is it for the Commonwealth. And let's go ahead and do a quick recap on a couple of territories that's changed. So over on the European side of things, nothing really changed except for the fleet. So this fleet in 25 now consists of 2 light carriers, one of which has a tactical, 2 naval transports, a light cruiser, 6 destroyers, 2 torpedo boat destroyers, and 1 coastal defense ship. Okay, and then over in Africa, we added a cavalry down in South Africa Union, and I already had a militia. British Somaliland now has a FEC fighter, an FEC infantry, a British infantry, and a British militia. And then Eastern Egypt has 2 infantry and 1 militia. Then this fleet in 83, okay, consists of a French transport, battleship, and destroyer, an Anzac transport, destroyer, and light cruiser, an FEC battleship, heavy cruiser, 2 destroyers, 2 naval transports, and a light carrier, and 2 British battleships, a British battle cruiser, 4 heavy cruisers, 2 light cruisers, and 2 submarines. So that is that fleet in Sea Zone 83. And then over in British Malaya, we simply added another militia. I believe that brings me up to 6 militia there in British Malaya, along with the 3 infantry, the 2 AAs, the fortification, and the coastal artillery gun. So that should be it for the UK Commonwealth. So for income, the British, the UK, went ahead and spent 15 out of 16, and they're at 16. So saved a buck. That gives them $17 to spend next turn. The FEC spent all 7 that they have, but now they're up to 8 because of the Japanese finishing off a carrier, so they'll have 8 to spend. And Anzac are still at 5, and they saved their 5, so that gives them 10 next turn. So that is it for... That'll complete the UK Commonwealth. On to France. So we have 1 tech roll, which we're definitely not going to finish this tech. We're at stage 1, and I'm sure the invasion of France is a turn or at the most 2 away. So But for formality's sake, we'll go ahead with that. So we're going to try for long-range aircraft at stage 1. And we missed anyway, so how apropos for the French, I suppose. Okay, so on to purchases. France has 10, and they're spending all 10. 3 militia, 2 apiece for 6, and they're lend-leasing an AA gun to the KMT. So that's their full $10. Clearly, no combat. So on to non-combat. We got a couple of moves. So the fighter we purchased last turn in Paris is going to come down 1 to southern France. This transport in 49 can go 3 because of the major naval facility. 1, 2, 3, and join that French fleet outside of Syria. And then the 3 French ships in 83 are going to stay there, but then we're going to move our subs. So we got 4 subs over here in C-Zone 91. 2 of them are going to come up 1 to 55. And the other 2 are going to come up 1, 2 to C-Zone 54. So we got 2 French subs in 54 and 2 in 55. So that should be it for the French non-combat. On to unit placement. The AA gun is going to make its way, again, southern France through the Med, the Suez, and come over here to the Burma Road is now open. So that can make it easily. So we're going to put that AA gun in Yunnan. And then our 3 militia, we're going to put all 3 of those in Paris. So add 3 more militia to the units in Paris. So just for a quick recap, just a couple territories changed. So in Paris, we're now up to 9 militia and 1 medium bomber. And in southern France, we have 1 infantry, 1 French Foreign Legion, 1 motorized infantry, 1 artillery, and 2 fighters are in southern France. Everything else pretty much stayed the same or was easily explained in the non-combat movement. So that's it for France. So they're at $10. They spent their 10 last turn, so they collect 10. So that is where we're at heading into turn number 6. Turn things over now to Global War 36 enthusiast and the Italians for turn 5.6.